Kolla! Ooh! Bar disc. Have everything covered. And this here in the front. Whiskey shelves. Bra va? I really hope that this is the last OSB board that I'm gonna cut, because I hate these, like really hate them. If everything is as measured, there's only one cut. Oh! Yes!
Come hell or high water, I'm gonna make you love me.
Wait, now we're just gonna paint here so that everything blends together. Just need a couple of bar stools and something to drink. Maybe a fridge too. IKEA! There's only 2 left and we need 2, and these are the only ones in the entirety of Sweden right now. This is the current stock in all the stores in the entire Sweden. I'm gonna grab them! Oh! He is perfect! Där har vi dem. The only ones in Sweden. Back to the studio! Bar fridge. One thing that I noticed when assembling the bar, now that we have the bar stools, is that we should have made it stick out a little bit further, because now you really have to do some man spreading to be able to sit comfortably. And probably could have had a little bit higher bar stools, but yeah. I think it works. Feels good.
Sitting over the laptop, taking whiskey.
Ooh, you're talking my language, mein herren. And then we have this. Go on. Let's come back in. Okay, one more try. Let's come back in. I always think I'm stronger than I am. One more time. Out with the styrofoam. Nu känner jag greppet.
Oh, look at that.
Hey! This is gonna be a perfect fit behind the bar. Yeah, that looks good.
That's really good.
That looks really good. And then,
oh.
Ooh, let's try to see if we can get this thing going. Och det var en ful lampa det. That got to be one of the ugliest lights in a fridge I've ever seen. Now we can bring some food boxes and drinks and have it served cool. Va? I'm thinking. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm thinking.
Oh, yes.
That is so good.
Someday you'll come running, somehow you'll see I'll be longing, I'm free. Come hell or high water, I'm gonna make you love me.
It feels so good that it's finally done and that we can actually enjoy the place.
Yeah.
Hey. Can you turn on the lights?
Got it. Turning on 23 lights.
Would you look at that? Philips Hue, every single place there's possible. It's gonna be possible to record so much here in this space compared to my other space, and the best part is that we're gonna be able to work simultaneously. Do you say it like that? I think so. When Edwin is working on shooting a product B-roll out here and I'm doing a talking head in there, instead of him being like locked into his corner in the studio. And I'm also going to drag some Ethernet cables along the side of the roof here, so that we have one Ethernet cable here in the bar. That we can just plug in the computer, and then whenever you get home from a trip or when you want to shoot something, then just plug it in here and then you're ready to go. But I'm also thinking about having a desk approximately in this area and having an Ethernet cable here so that we can work with one person there and the guests over here, and then one Ethernet cable here, and then everything is connected to one single network drive. What do you think we should name the bar? I would love to know. Do drop a comment down below. Should we call it like the PL Studio or something else? I'm listening on all ears. Oof. Haven't seen myself without a cap in a really long time. It feels weird. Peter, är du natural? I don't know if you can see it, but my mustache is a little bit uneven, so this part is a little bit longer than this part. It's kind of funny when I'm trying to be serious. All right, Q&A time. Here we go. If you could do a video collab with anyone in the entire world, a live person or not, who would that be? That's a tough one. I would say The Rock. The most important question in this time is, how are you and your family doing? We're doing very well. It's been very intense, and Alex has been sick for a real long time. Now he was like at home from kindergarten or preschool. I don't know what to say. In Sweden we say förskola. But he's been home for a really long time, and I've been trying to work like in shifts together with Amanda. So she's working in the morning and I'm in the evening, and vice versa. We're doing well, but it's been intense. How are you able to create interesting content while living in a rural, boring area? I would say that do something that you enjoy doing, because the more you enjoy doing something or talking about something, the more you're going to be able to create content around that subject or around that kind of like particular thing that you're doing. And it doesn't really matter where you live or where you're at, because the first couple of videos that I made here on this channel was shot in my kitchen in our one-room apartment, and I had no idea how to light like a YouTube video. But that was the start of this entire thing. And I think that creating boring content, you are the only one that is the judge of what you think is boring. But you also have to keep in mind that the things that you put out is something that no one has ever seen before. So boring is kind of like in your head most of the time. Have you ever thought about moving out of Sweden? Absolutely. I've thought about it several times because I hate the winter 6 months of pure darkness here in Sweden. But then again, every single spring and summer, you feel so filled with life because everything starts to come alive, and like we get this really long nights, really long evenings. And as soon as summer comes, I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere. When is the new Rivals expected to come out? Edwin, you want to take this one?
As soon as Corona is over, Rivals 3 is coming.
Hey. We kind of got a little bit of, how do you say, hinder of shooting Rivals 3, but everything is like written down. We have the idea, we have the concept. Just wait for all the COVID restrictions to disappear so we can shoot in the place where we want to. This summer. Do you reach out to brands you want to work with, or do they just come to you since you have such a large following? Nowadays, I never reach out to brands because brands see my channel and my Instagram and they reach out to me and ask if I want to try their products. When I started my channel, I reached out to different companies saying that I had a like up and coming YouTube channel, but yeah, nowadays I don't. Is YouTube considered as your first source of money? If not, tell us about your money source. Yes, YouTube is my main source of income, and I haven't done any client videos ever since the Nestle video that I did a while back. What was the hardest part when you built out your studio? Physical task or emotional decision? I would say that the hardest part was to keep the motivation up, even though everything felt like it was never going to be finished. Trying to stay motivated is very, very important. What are those lights called? They're actually called nanlite pavo tubes and are by far some of my most used lights that I've ever had. Check this out, because right now we have the setup of one light here in the roof, one light here to give us a little bit of an accent, and then we have this light over here as well. So that kind of like gives us this depth to the entire scene so that it feels kind of cool. How did you afford to build this studio? Since I built the majority of this studio entirely on my own, the actual cost was not as high as it would have been if I hired someone. So that is how I was able to afford to build it. And the reason that I was able to take that time is because I had constant income of money from YouTube from my previous videos, so that they generated the revenue that I needed to be able to stay afloat while I was building. This is probably one of my favorite questions. Due to your studio build out, you were forced to stop uploading regularly. How was the experience for you, since in the past you've had a lot of anxiety to stop creating and uploading your videos and had troubles to give yourself a break to take 1 to 2 weeks off? This break that I had with the studio build out has been very, very useful for me, because it's been extremely hard to not upload videos, and I've had so much pressure on myself with the feeling that I need to upload a video. But then as the weeks kind of like started to go and I didn't upload a video, I kind of realized that I still gained subscribers, I still gained the views, and the only thing that was dropping like remarkably was the revenue. So the biggest stress part was the revenue part of it, but now that I'm through it, I actually feel kind of good not uploading videos with that kind of intensity. But with that said, I'm going to get back to uploading videos with that kind of intensity. Taking a break is always good, and I highly recommend anyone that is doing the YouTube Forge hustle thing, whatever you want to call it, take a break if you feel that you need it, because you are most certainly worth it. Do you still do any client work? Barely, almost none. Do you love your viewers? I love you. I can't thank you enough for watching my videos and being here every single time, liking the videos, commenting, subscribing, showing the support that you do. The weirdest part, I think, with the viewers is that what I see mainly is a number on my screen, but when I get to interact with you, then I kind of like feel that it's actually reality. So thank you so incredibly much for being here and making this possible as well, because without you, it wouldn't happen. So thanks so much. So with that said, end of the Q&A. I've also gotten a question on if I'm not going to use my old studio, and the thing is that now I'm in my old studio and now I'm in the new studio. So it's basically just a door in between. So this place is very much going to be used in the future as well, but this place is also going to be used in the future as well. Hey!